got lost a time or two. I wiped my brow and kept pushing through. I couldn't see how every sign pointed straight to you. And every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were just northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God bless the broken road.
Okay, so how I got to Augusta was a couple of years. I left home and I started doing traveling therapy. I did that for a couple of years. And everywhere I would go, I would find a church to attend. And so it was one year I was trying to get home, close to home for the holidays. And so I ended up getting a job in Sandersville, and I was staying in Millersville with my godmother. So I was going to the Millersville church, and I met a lovely lady and her daughter, Sister Gloria Johnson, and we became great friends. And so I finished the year off there, and I ended up in Chattanooga because I thought, I got tired of traveling, and I just wanted to settle down and, start a life there.
I think about the years I spent just passing through. I'd like to take the time I lost and give it back to you, but you just smile and take my hand. You've been there, you understand. It's all part of this grander plan that is coming true. And every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my...
Alright, so this really, my journey here to Augusta, Georgia is really a testimony that I'd like to share. And that is upon my graduation at from Texas Christian University. We know that the next stage is the job search. And so my dream job was really to stay in Texas. However, it did not work out. That was a major disappointment because I really thought I was going to get that job. But I remember the saying my grandmother always told me, every disappointment is a blessing. And it was really late in the game at that time because, in the teaching profession, one of the key things are you have to apply at least a year in advance to be guaranteed a position. And here I was 2 months before the start of the major school year and did not have a position to go to. And so I was really disappointed at first, but at this point I realized, no, I couldn't call anyone, and there was only one solution, and that was to pray. And so I prayed, and I left it in God's hand. And so from this point, believe it or not, the next day I started to receive the calls for interviews. As a matter of fact, that following week I did approximately 5 interviews. The next week I did 3 interviews. And so it came to the point that it wasn't a matter of where am I going to get the job, but it's which one am I going to take. And so I prayed, faced with the issue of which job am I going to take. And as it ended up, I decided to take a teaching position in Augusta, Georgia, Payne College, with the rank of assistant professor of physics.
Into your loving arms.
So time passed. Sister Gloria Johnson and her daughter ended up leaving Millersville, going to Augusta, and start hanging out with at the Ebenezer Church in Augusta. And she started hanging out with Raul and his crew, and she noticed that he needed a good girl or whatever, and so she would start calling me and was texting me. It was like, you should come see me, come and visit. We miss you. There's a really nice guy I want you to meet. And me being the woman that I am, I'm thinking that's not going to happen because you're on the South Carolina border and I'm on the Tennessee border, and I'm not driving all the way across Georgia to meet a guy. That's just not going to happen. So anyway, to make a long story short, that went on for a couple of months. And finally, we exchanged phone numbers. And we started talking on the phone couple of hours, and then it became days and weeks. Like every day we would start talking.
All right, so as I said, as I continue fellowship with Sister Johnson, she related to me about the young lady who is very spiritual, that prays, and really serious. And so I said, well, I should really give it a try. And so Sister Johnson provided me with her phone number. And so I called and did my inquiry, to talk to her. And I was really excited even talking to her over the phone. I knew that she was a special young lady.
I know it's true.
So, as you all know, that Tennessee, Chattanooga, and Augusta is 4 hours away. And so you talk and talk and talk all of the time. And so we finally decided we were going to get together and we were going to meet. So Atlanta was the meeting point for the both of us, 2 hours away. So we decided to get together and meet in Atlanta. So our first date, we got up Sabbath morning and we rode down to the Stone Mountain SDA Church. Where
so as I recall, she moved into she arrived at the Stony Mountain SDA Church prior to my arrival. And so as I was parking and I was walking up to the church, I saw the young lady, and I was in my mind like, okay, better be her. And so, believe it or not, as I walked into the church, I called her. She told me she was at the back door in a particular position, area at the back. And believe it or not, when I arrived there, that was her. That was the same person I was hoping it was, that I was going to meet for the first time. So that was really a blessing.
Yeah, and I was so ashamed because my first words to him was, where do you want to sit? We're in church and I'm trying to sit down so we can get to worship with her. And I thought about it later and I was like, that was so rude. I didn't say, hey, how you doing? You look nice to meet you. I was just like, where do you want to sit? But anyway, we got past all that. And after church, we went and had a picnic at the Stone Mountain, little picnic area before we climbed the mountain. That was really nice. And it was funny because I was kind of nervous or whatever. And, I brought stuff and he brought stuff or whatever. But it was funny because he had a mango. And you can't eat mangoes cute. So I'm thinking now, how am I going to look cute and eat this mango at the same time? So I did this little disclaimer. I was like, don't think I'm weird or rude or anything, but I gotta eat this mango and I can't eat it cute. And he had this big old grin on his face, like his whole world just lit up. Because he got the mango and he ate it like they eat it in the islands, and he was just munching all into it. And I was thinking, okay, well I can definitely be comfortable now because he just got down on this mango and it's all over his face. But it was so cute. It was really cute. And then after that, I wasn't feeling well. I was just not having a good day. But he really took care of me. We moved slow up their mountain, and it was a really good time. So that was really our first day.
Bless the broken road and let me straight to you. Oh, straight to you. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm just rolling home.
And so after we came down from the mountain, I brought him a little gift. And what the gift was, it was a hymnal. Oh, I forgot about that. We gotta go back and do that one. It was a hymnal, and it was a little devotional book. And I asked him if he didn't mind if we could start singing songs and having devotion together. And he was like, oh no, that's great. And so we had our first devotion together right there in the back of his truck.
Oh, this much I know.
So we talked over the phone a lot, and then we're getting more close. We're getting more close. Well, like he was growing on me, and I was growing on him, hopefully. So one day we were on the phone, and he was getting ready to go back to AY. He had a concert. He was in the car. He had a concert. He said, "Well, I have to go, sing in a concert, but I'll call you back when I get home." And I was like, "Oh, you're a singer. You're gonna sing me a song when you get back on the phone, right?" And I was just joking. And he said, "Yeah, okay." So that was it. He went to AY. I went to AY. We came back home. Got on the phone again. And so the first thing he asked me was, "What do you want me to sing?" And I was like, "You're gonna sing for me for real?" And so I was like, "I want you to sing my favorite song, Trust and Obey." So he pulled out his computer and had to look it up online. And we sung hymns and we sung hymns and we sung hymns, and it was so great. And that was the night that we shared our conversion stories with each other. You know, how he came to Christ and how I came to Christ. And that's when I realized, I was like, this is so amazing. It's a guy that's my age who loves to have hymns, who loves to sing hymns, who, like, is going on the same path that I'm going on. And I was like, God is so good, because I didn't think men like that exist or whatever. And so I was so excited. And so that's the night when I was thinking, I should really give this guy a try, because he's like a one in a million type. It was pretty amazing. And his conversion story was so much similar to mine. I just thought it was beautiful. Meant to be, really.
It's true that God bless.
Well, yes, and I knew that we are very compatible for one, because one of my passion is gardening, farming. I've been doing that since I was 7 with my grandfather, my great grandmother, and so it was really exciting knowing that she's trying to learn about farming, and she's been going to seminars, learning how to do canning and how to do solar power generation, and she was learning all sorts of new areas in terms of being self-sufficient. And so, that area already told me that she was the one meant for me.
Bless the broken road and let me straight to you.
We had been talking for a while, and we were doing every other weekend. I would come down to Augusta, he would come up. So one weekend, his uncle from California came to Nashville to do some cancer research. And so we went up there to meet the uncle. So he came and got me, and then we did our whitewater rafting, because we like to do adventurous stuff. And I'm trying to get him to go skydiving with me one day. We're going to work on that. But anyway. So we did our whitewater rafting, and then we headed up to Nashville to meet his uncle, Uncle Horace. And we did that. And so I was asking my coworkers, well, what do you do in Nashville? Because I've never been. And they was like, you got to go to the Opera Mills Hotel. I was like, okay, cool. And so we arranged that, and then we went to the Opera Mills Hotel. And I told him about it. I guess he did some research. I don't know. But, we went, and we saw the sights and took some pictures or whatever.
I set out on a narrow way many years ago, hoping I would find true love along the broken road.
So as she said, my uncle was in town at the University in Nashville for some cancer research with one of his collaborators. So we planned to make some tours. So after she told me about that the perfect hotel her coworker told her about, and so I already thought in advance that, wow, this is the perfect place.
But beforehand, while we was on the phone talking or whatever, every now and then he would ask me, what kind of wedding do you want? And it was just one question out of the blue, so I would answer it, and then we'll go back to talking to regular conversations or whatever. So he's gathering all this information for months or whatever, and so then when we get up there, he asks a question, and I'm thinking, where did all this come from? And the whole time he's gathering all this information, did I want to be inside? Do I want to be married outside? And all this other stuff, and I was like, you set me up. But it was nice. Or whatever. So we were going around to the different gardens they have at the hotel, and we found a spot, and he got down in front of everybody and proposed, and I was like, get up, this is embarrassing. It wasn't, it was sweet, but in an embarrassing kind of way. And then he was like, are you going to answer my question? I was like, oh, yeah, now get up. And it was so sweet, but that's pretty much how we got proposed.
All right.
Yes, God bless the broken road and let me stray to you. Oh, straight to you.
Worship was a very intricate part of our relationship from the very beginning, and it has continued to be a very intricate part of our relationship. And with that being said, we just decided to share with all of our friends and family who came with us just a small little devotional book that we thought was very instrumental, that really helped us in our walk, getting close to each other as we walk closer to Christ. So hopefully you will take this book and enjoy it, and it will bring you a little closer to the Lord and to your loved one.
When there's love at home, there is love at home, sweet love at home. Time does softly glide when there's love at home. There is love at home, sweet love at home. Time does softly glide when there's love at holy night. Then there's love at home.